Hello CraftDee Family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, we'll be creating some really cute and easy decor pieces for your home. Now these pieces feature more of a natural look with light colored wood, some leather look trims, and straw-like textures. Now I've incorporated some of my favorite greenery and decorative accents into these displays, but you can customize these to fit into your preferred style of decor. Now for your convenience, I've provided the complete list of supplies and tools that I use to make these projects in the description box below. Now, I'm so very happy to share this tutorial with you, but before we start, I wanted to say hey, and welcome back to my wonderful subscribers and visitors to my channel. Now, if you are a new visitor to my channel today and you love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and also click that notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now, let's jump right into the projects. Now this project is a basket with handles. Now we're going to need one of these light colored large sun hats from the Dollar Tree, one of these wood circle pieces from Walmart, and it's 97 cents. And we'll also need some faux leather fabric or ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Now the first thing we're going to do is to take our straw hat, we're going to remove the tags and remove the bow that's on top. We're also going to remove that tag from the inside. Now once we do that, we're going to find the end of this trim, and it's right on the edge. Go ahead and clip the first couple of stitches and you'll notice that it will unravel fairly easily. Now what you'll end up with is with this fun trim, and then we're going to use this later in the project, and I'm going to unwind it until I get a shape that looks like a bowl. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip it off and put those trims to the side. So in order to make our bowl fit the nice shape that we're looking for, that's where this wood piece comes into play. Now my wood piece actually fit a little larger than I anticipated and left this little bubble in the bottom. So what I ended up doing is cutting out a circular shape out of foam board that's about an inch smaller than my wood piece. And then I just fit it to the inside. I like the way that this looks, so I'm going to work with this. So I'm just going to cover it with some of this faux wood contact paper that I got from Dollar Tree, and this is just a scrap that I had left over, and I am going to cover my little foam board circle with that piece. Now once it is covered, I'm just going to trim down the edges in a circular pattern, and I just want to trim off those edges. Now I want to go around and I actually want to snip those edges as well, because when we fold this over, we want it to fold over nice and smooth with no creases. Now here it is with all the edges folded in, and I'm going to do a test fit on the inside and everything looks good. So now I'm just going to take my hot glue and I'm going to apply a generous amount to the bottom of our foam board circle and press it right down in the center of the basket. Now I'm just going to go around in a circle and pull up those edges so it is nice and secured to the bottom without any air gaps in the bottom of the basket. So now we're going to take care of that loose edge, and I'm just going to trim it down to make it as even as possible with the existing edge. I'm going to dab that cut edge with some hot glue to make sure it doesn't unravel, and smooth it out with my little silicone spatula from Dollar Tree to make sure everything looks nice and neat. So I'm going to set this to the side and start working with my ribbon. Now I have a 24-inch piece of leather scrap that I had on hand, and I'm going to cut it in half to make about a 12-inch piece. Now since my strip has a raw edge on the back, I'm going to glue two pieces together with the back sides together so both sides of my leather strip will be finished. Now Dollar Tree has some leather ribbon in stock if you can find it, and you won't have to go through all these steps, but this is what I had to do for my scrap. So I'm going to fold it in half once again once it's all glued together, and then we'll end up with about two 6-inch strips. So what I'm going to do is I want to be adding some handles to the side of my basket. So I'm just going to loop it over and then add hot glue under each end of my handle, and I'm going to clip it in place with these Dollar Tree clips just to hold it while the glue dries. And once that first side is done, we're just going to repeat this on the other side. So here are both of my handles all glued into place, and now I want to add some accents to my handles. So what I have are these upholstery tacks. Now you can use Dollar Tree tacks, but I'm using these upholstery tacks that I got from Walmart, and these were 97 cents a pack. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke one through the bottom of each handle just to make it look like hardware, and I'm going to poke it through to the inside of the basket. Now I am going to pull it out just a little bit to add a little hot glue between the nail and that leather strapping, just to make sure it stays secure into place. And you want to repeat this at all 4 edges of the ends of those straps. And once that glue does dry, just take some wire clippers and clip off the nail portion on the inside of your basket. And now your basket is all done, everything looks good, and we are ready to decorate. So here is my final project on display, and I think it is super cute. Now I've added some colorful succulents and textured rope balls to my basket for just a pop of color. And I really love these handles too. Now this is great for displaying all kinds of goodies in your home. Now this project is a set of decorative trimmed vases. Now we're going to need a few assorted Dollar Tree vases of your choice, and we're going to use some of that hat trim from one full sun hat. So I'm going to lay out my Surebonder silicone mat so you can see what I'm working on here. And what I did was I disassembled several of these hats in advance, and I wound them on an empty spool. I thought this was such a good texture to work with, so I did several in advance. So we're going to be applying this to hourglass jars, and we are going to start along the bottom. Make sure you have a nice fresh cut edge. Apply a dot of hot glue just to secure it to start, and we're going to run a bead of that hot glue around the bottom edge and run that trim around there, making sure the bottom edge of the trim is even with the bottom edge of your vase. Now once you reach the end, you want to overlap by at least 1/4 of an inch, and you want to cut it. Now you could wrap it around in one continuous loop, but wrapping it around in single rounds makes the best look. Trust me, it does look very good when it's done. So now we're going to start with our second round. Cut a fresh edge, add a dot of hot glue, and secure that edge into place. Now you do want to make sure you start and stop at the same location on the back of your vase. Now you do want to add your layer of hot glue along the top edge of your previous row, and you will be running the bottom edge of your new row and attaching it on top. When you reach the end, just apply a little dab of hot glue and secure that end, and just make sure those cut ends are nice and even in place. Now you just want to repeat this all the way up the jar. Now you can continue all the way up the jar or even go halfway here. I thought it looked great as a halfway design too, but I will be covering my entire vase. Now once you reach that very top row, you do want to continue the same way, but this time you're going to put glue along the top edge of the previous row and at the very top edge of your vase, just to make sure both of the edges of your trim are secured into place. Now as you can see here is the entire jar, and here is that seam. You can barely see it. I think this looks so beautiful and high end. So now just repeat this for your second vase. And here are our 2 vases all covered. Now these were so simple and easy to do, and you could do them on a dime. So now just add your favorite greenery, and I have some super stylish vases that were made for less than $2 each. Now I love that these look so high end, and they look like woven baskets and can be decorated in so many ways. And I think this color and texture is like perfect for spring, boho, and even nautical beach themes too. Let me know in the comments how you would decorate these vases in your home. Now this project is a hanging pocket plant holder. Now I'll be using a white plastic plate that I got for 50 cents at Walmart, but they have these at Dollar Tree in 2 packs. I also will use more of that hat trim, and I'll use about 3/4 inches of a sun hat and some more of that faux leather ribbon or fabric. So I'm going to start with one of the plates, and what I'm going to do is I want to start adding that hat trim right down the center of the plate. Now I'm going to measure a piece that overlaps on each end at least a half of an inch to about an inch and a half, and I'm just going to add a dot of hot glue on each side. Now it's a good idea to use a silicone spatula or silicone fingers to adhere this to the back, because this trim does have tiny little holes in it, and you do want to make sure it's nice and secure. So this was a good idea to use this spatula. Now you just want to continue to add your ribbon all the way down, and we're going to continue adding it the same way we did as our vases, just making sure we overlap that bottom just slightly, and we're going to add a little line of hot glue and place that second row right on top of that bottom edge. And then when it's nice and even, you can secure it around the back with your hot glue and your spatula. Now you want to continue this all the way down until you get to the bottom, and I have the tiniest little gap there. So I'm taking another little piece. I'm going to continue to add my hot glue and just add that strip on top. Now this strip would actually wrap around to the back, and this would secure everything to the bottom so nothing falls out of your pocket holder. So you just add some of that hot glue around that bottom edge of the plate, and then fold it over with that hot glue and your spatula and make sure it secures itself into place. Now I'm going to add another piece just for extra security. I'm just so extra when it comes to glue, you guys. And I just want to make sure everything is secure. So I'm going to add one more piece along that bottom just to make sure everything stays right in place. So now we have this cute little pocket holder, but I wanted to add something extra like a little decorative accent, and this is completely optional, and I'm going to add a few strips in a diagonal pattern. So what I'm going to do is cut a strip and just kind of decide where I want it to lay. I'm going to draw a line with my hot glue and then place that ribbon strip right on top. Now I do want those edges again to overlap to the back and to make sure that they can be secured into place. Now once those are nice and secure, what we want to do is add 3 or 4 more strips, and you can add as many as you like down here until you are happy with it, and this is what it will finally look like when I add those strips. Now to hang this piece, I am going to use my leather trim again, and I'm going to trim it out the same way. I'm going to take my long strip and I'm going to bond the 2 raw pieces together so both sides are leather until I have a piece that's about 12 inches, and then I'm going to loop it at the very top of my plate to hang it. Now once you have your places marked, just go ahead and pin them into place, and what I'm going to do is take my Sharpie and I'm going to go over to the back just to make a dot where those leather straps are located on the front of the plate. Now once you do that, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to kind of twist it where that mark is, and this will make the tiniest little hole because we will be using our tacks to go through there to add our accent. So we want to make sure it goes through the plate without a problem. So we're going to start by adding one of those upholstery tacks at the very end of our leather strap first. And we will be applying that through the hole in the plate. So I'm just testing it out here. So before I adhere it, of course, I want to add some glue to the back of that tack and make sure the tack is secured to the leather. And once that's done, just add a generous amount of that hot glue over the hole that you made in the plate, and then push your tack through that hole onto that glue. You want to do that on both sides. And once those are applied and nice and even, go ahead and put your clips back into place and wait for those to fully dry and make sure they are secure. So now that they are nice and secure, we'll flip it over to the back and we will cut off those nail heads nice and flush with the plate. So now you guys know I love to finish the back of my project, so I'm going to take some craft paper and hot glue to actually put a round of hot glue on the back of the plate, and I will place that thick craft paper right on top. Now once that center part is secure, I'm going to add glue around the remainder of the plate, just making sure that paper is secured within about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of the edge of the plate. I'm going to do this all the way around. And once that glue is nice and dry, we can take our X-Acto knife, and what we're going to do is trim off all of the excess. You want to make sure you don't put a lot of pressure on here. We just want to cut the paper and not our ribbon accent. And then just go around, clean up the edges as needed, and now our pocket planter is ready to decorate. So now I've added my favorite variety of succulents and hung this piece up to display, and I love how it turned out. Now I love all the natural elements in this piece, and this was so easy to make. Now you could even use this for mail, you can use this for craft supplies, or whatever you like. Now there are so many ways to style this piece, and I hope that you guys just have as much fun as I did creating it. 1, 2, or even 3 for your space. Now this project is a natural framed candle tray. We'll need 2 of these signs from the Dollar Tree. We'll need 16 of these Dollar Tree Jenga style blocks, and we'll need 16 of these craft sticks from the Dollar Tree. Now what we're going to do is lay out our sheer bonded silicone mat and grab our blocks. Now what we will be doing is we will be taking a straight edge and our wood stick hot glue, and we're going to be bonding 2 pieces end to end as shown here until we have 8 sets of those 2 blocks. Now once you have your sets of 2, we're just going to put them right on top of each other and stack them and hot glue those together as well. Make sure that both sides are nice and even when we do glue them. So now we have our sets of blocks, and we're going to grab our craft sticks. Now we're going to place a craft stick right on top of each edge and just mark and trim it down. Now you could use a solid dowel or a solid square dowel for this, but I was trying to create a method that'd be a lot easier, that you could use craft sticks and Jenga blocks to make it look like one solid piece instead of 4 individual blocks. So you do want to use the craft sticks from the Dollar Tree that come in the 60 packs and not the 100 packs, because the 60 packs have larger craft sticks and they will cover all of the blocks. So you're just going to trim them down to size and adhere all 4 sides with the craft stick, adding that glue to there to make sure everything is nice and secure. Now once everything is trimmed down, and this is what one of your pieces or columns will look like, and you just want to repeat this until you have 4 covered columns. So now we're going to work on our signs and remove them all from the packaging. Now we're going to take one of the signs and we are going to remove that insert, and we're also going to be removing all of those tacks and pins that hold that insert into place. We also want to remove the hanger that's on the bottom. Now this piece is ready to go, and we'll set it to the side. Now for the second one, all we want to do is we want to remove that insert, and we're just going to flip it around to the other side. Now we want the side we will be using to be the blank side. Now we also want to remove the hanger from this piece as well. So now we can assemble our candle tray. We're going to take our 4 columns and we want to sit one in each corner of the piece with that flipped insert. Now once they're lined up and you're happy with it, go ahead and take your Surebonder wood stick hot glue and place one even at each corner. Now this will be a lightweight piece, there won't be a need to add any screws with this, and that wood stick hot glue should hold them very well. Now once all 4 of those pieces are in place, you want to take your other frame and you just want to line it up with all 4 of those posts nice and even. And then add a generous amount of that wood stick hot glue to each corner and sit it on the top, making sure everything is aligned. And here is our boxed frame ready to go for our candle tray. So now you can decorate with whatever elements that you like. I have some white rocks here. I have some seashells just in case you want to do a beach theme. You can use your candle holders and some tea light candles and greenery. You can deck it out however that you like. And here we go. We have our candle tray all put together and I really love it. Now I was going for a really clean and natural look for this piece, and it perfectly fits in with my other creations today. And this would look amazing with a beach theme as well, and you could even cut and add frosted chopping mats to the side openings for a soft lantern-like glow. Now as always, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, but let me know in the comments which one was your favorite today. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. Now, if you like videos like these and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below, or just click on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen, and make sure you hit that bell so you'll be notified when the next DIY goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.